Hello Stratters, it's CreepEvee and we are back. Now this week we are out of our Halloween month and we are out of a throwback standard episode. So what are we going back to now? What has CreepEvee concocted? Well, I actually stole this one off Tapped Out and I'll leave the link to it in the description. But of course, after all of that, we have to return to me playing combo decks. Everybody's favorite thing to watch. So this is a deck that I've been wanting to play on the channel for a while, but then Halloween month came up and everything. So I've been excited to return to it. It's a very interesting combo deck. It's kind of been around because of Thermo Alchemist, but Firebrand Archer getting printed made this deck, I don't want to say consistent, but it works sometimes. It works. But basically, the strategy kind of revolves around Ophidian Eye. So it is an enchantment aura with flash, and so whenever the enchanted creature deals damage, you draw a card. So that does not necessarily have to be by battle. So just because they attack, they're also going to get a trigger if they deal damage, but it can be through other ways. So with cards like Firebrand Archer and Thermo Alchemist, their burn effects count as damage from that creature, so they will trigger Ophidian Eye. Similar effect from Tandem Lookout has Soul Bond and gives them pretty much the exact same effect. So we're going to try to set up one of our two creatures here, Firebrand Archer, Thermo Alchemist. Probably the better one would be Firebrand Archer, but they both work fine. Thermo Alchemist is just going to keep untapping itself so that we can tap it again, whereas Firebrand Archer is going to deal the damage automatically. Thermo Alchemist just being having to tap itself can lead to your combo getting interfered with potentially, but either way, plus Firebrand actually can attack because it doesn't have Defender. But either way, they're pretty much going to do the same thing for you. So we're going to get Ophidian Eye out on it. We're going to generate a lot of mana with our cards like Desperate Ritual, Seething Song, Rite of Flame, to build up a huge amount of mana and keep casting spells and casting spells and casting spells until we burn our opponent out with our Firebrand Archer or Thermo Alchemist. So we're gonna play this a lot like Storm. It's Spellslinger in a lot of ways, but also kind of Stormish without actually a Storm mechanic. So you're pretty used to seeing these type of cards in Storm, especially with the Manamorphose and the Gitaxian Probes. And it kind of is, because the goal is to cast as many spells as we can, so kind of a halfway point. But we do have a few other cards to help us get there. Of course, we have to have some cantrips to trigger our Firebrand Archers and Thermo Alchemists. The first one going to be Gitaxian Probe, of course. You can't really beat it. So 4 of those. Mizium Skins. Those are going to be used to protect our creatures just a little bit, because our deck pretty much only functions with them. So if they get taken out, then we're not going to be able to function. But only 2 of those, just because we want to get straight to our kill strategy. Ponder, pretty simple, helps us fix the top of our deck, which really helps in a deck like this. For the Ophidian Eye and 2 of the Tandem Lookouts. 2 Expedites, excellent cantrip for the draw strategy. It's going to give us haste, but mainly it's going to be a spell to cast while also giving us another draw trigger. Faithless Looting, 2 of those. 2 Flame Jabs, because the retrace ability is really easy to do whenever you're drawing this many cards. You're going to draw into a land, a ditch, so being able to cast it then works pretty well. In my testing, I've been able to cast them multiple times, so it works out pretty well each time you cast it. Of course, you're going to get that effect, and the 1 damage that you're dealing can work out pretty well for you. Rite of Flame, pretty simple as far as being a fast mana trigger. They build up quickly, so 4 of those. 2 Dangerous Wagers. Just as a good, if you get to the point where you have a bunch of dead cards in your hand, like lands, you can just go ahead and cast that and get into some new cards. So 2 Desperate Rituals, 3 of the Seething Songs, 4 of the Firebrand Archer, and 3 of the Thermo Alchemist, and then 4 Manamorphose. So pretty simple. We're gonna draw cards and play cards, and I mean, there's definitely some changes you can make to this deck, but I feel like this list is really tight. Like, it's pretty optimized in my testing, at least. And as far as the land goes, with just 1 Evolving Wilds, 3 islands, 4 mountains, and then 2 Sandstone Needle and 3 Saprazan Scary, if I think I'm saying that right. The double lands from Mercadian Masks, they work really well. You don't really want these in a long-term deck, decks that you're trying to build up and play a long game, but as far as a quick combo deck like this, they work out pretty well. And then 4 Swift Water Cliffs, pretty standard for an Izzet deck. So the land base is very straightforward. The Sandstone Needle and the Saprazan work out really well. Just makes the deck run a lot faster. I like it a lot. We'll jump over to our side deck really quickly. We'll play 2 Annuls, 2 Dispel, 1 Hydroblast, 2 Hydroblasts. Sorry, we've got different art. An extra Mizium Skin, rather, for protection. How many? 2 Elusive Spellfists as another card to protect our card, similar to Mizium Skin. Another Tandem Lookout if we're worried about our creatures getting killed off, or worried about Tandem Lookout getting killed off, we might need another one. A couple of Gut Shots, 2 Pyroblasts, and then 1 Relic of Progenitus. So pretty... the side deck has a lot going on. You have the counter magic, protection magic. I don't know about the extra Tandem Lookout. I don't know whether you really need it, but we'll see. Might work out pretty well for us. I like the Gut Shots, and I like the Pyroblasts, and I definitely think that every deck should run at least 1 Relic of Progenitus, unless, of course, you are a deck that benefits from the graveyard. But with all of that being said, I'm excited to play this one, so let's jump right over to the games. Okay, our opponent choosing to go first. We are playing against Macros Relaves, I believe is the username, maybe. But anyway, I just played against him actually, and he whooped me. He whooped me bad. I don't know whether he's playing the same deck. Looks like probably is. He's playing mono white. I don't even really know what you'd call it. It's mono white make me sad. It's enchantments. All of his creatures are going to try to be enchantment based. He's going to play a bunch of Oblivion Rings and a bunch of Journey to Nowheres and the what is that card called? The white enchantment aura. I cannot remember the name of it, but we're probably going to see it. I feel certain we are. But you get +1/+1 for each enchantment, so you can imagine that thing hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings, it did. We'll just try to get our mana base built up while we wait on a creature. Evolving Wilds doing some good deck thinning there. Cycles a Secluded Step. Not a bad choice. Trying to figure out his profile image. I don't know. I think that's one of the angels from that set that I can't remember. Like Gisela and all of them. I think it's one of those. I don't know. I want to be up to date on like the story of Magic because it seems really interesting. I just do not have the time right now to read. Protection from monocolored, okay. Everything we have is going to be straight colored except for Manamorphose, and I don't think we're going to try to hurt it with Manamorphose, so we should be fine. Tisk, tisk, tisk. We're going to have to discard something. Let's play a Gitaxian Probe and see just how many prison spells he has. Oh, Ethereal Armor, that's the name of it. So, an Oppressive Raise, that's the only one. 2 Auramancers, though. We'll play the Faithless Looting, discarding... I guess we'll discard a Flame Jab and the Expedite, probably. We'll play the Saprazan and pass. Well, do we want a Faithless? Well, I guess at this point we could have if I'd played the island, but yeah, I think we'll pass here. I have to take 2 from this Guardian. No monocolored creatures for him to get past, though. What all do we have in grave? Flame Jab and that Faithless Looting. Take the 2. Swiftwater Cliffs got us back up to 20 after those other cards. Target enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Luckily you didn't get any recursion there. The only thing we could really do, well, I guess we do have the option to flashback Faithless Looting, which I think is exactly what we're going to do here. Boy, oh boy. Normally I'd say these 2 islands, but I kind of want to have land for Flame Jab. Let's discard an island and a Rite of Flames. We'll play Saprazan and pass. I think this is the most mana I've had with this deck produced yet, so that's cool. Well, had available to me. I have produced a lot more with the fast mana spells, but alright, there we go. I was about to say, normally I'm sitting around digging for the Ophidian Eyes, not the archers. Drop the archer. And now we try to get some fun going. Have to lose that Saprazan. Equip the Ophidian Eye. Oh, I just realized mono, not multi. I was trying to figure out why Ophidian Eye wouldn't attach. I probably seem like the biggest idiot in the world. So we will get Ophidian Eye on there. And now, I don't know whether I want to play that island yet. I think we're fine to just go for the ritual now. I will set this to automatic, I suppose. I should also set the Ophidian Eye to always yield, always yes. Because I want to draw those cards. Except for when I lost track of lost track of my cards in deck and actually decked myself out, which was cool because I was like, okay, well maybe this deck can do things. So we'll take 2 blue here, I believe. Blue is the hot commodity of this deck because you don't have a way to make fast mana out of it. Alright, so we will pay with our own life. We can afford to do it now. So that was a very good draw to get to the Seething Song. I think we'll Manamorphose again, just because it's good draw acceleration. Alright, and we will take a blue and a red here, because we're going to be able to make quite a bit of red mana in just a second. So we don't have to use up that red yet, well, I mean all the blue yet, we can do it like this. We can 3, get our opponent to 13, so we're not doing terribly. We do still have access to the flame jabs. We do have quite a few lands now. I could equip a second Ophidian Eye, which might work. For right now, I don't know. Let's go for that. Could actually put 3 on there. So the other Ophidian Eye triggers. We get to another Seething Song. Take 2 there. We're going to get a lot of card draw, get a lot of mana. We're getting close now. We can play the Tandem Lookout after a Manamorphose. And we'll just be getting to a pretty redonkulous amount of card draw here. So we're just going to go for straight blue production now. Another Firebrand Archer. So we have ways to accelerate our draw a lot here. So we'll select our opponent, draw here. I'm pretty sure we easily have game here. But don't count chickens before they hatch, kids. You never want to do that. But we have plenty of mana to work with now. So this is the point where I would probably just start flame jabbing. And I think that that's probably the best way to go with this. And you can see why Flame Jab just such a good card right now. Flashback, what is that? We don't need flashback. We need retrace. If you guys don't know what retrace does, because it was kind of a short-lived mechanic, it's kind of like having flashback. When it's in your discard, you can pay whatever its cost is and also discard a card. And when you do, you can play it just like as if it had flashback, but it doesn't actually get exiled like it would with flashback. So you can use it as many times as you want, which is why Flame Jab is pretty redonkulous in this deck. So our opponent wants to play all of those nasty enchantments. The only thing that we really have for that is the annuls. Of course, we could bring in more creatures like Elusive Spellfist to make up for the ones that might get exiled, which is something to consider, but right now I think we just want to get rid of the annuls. I'm going to go down 1. What do we want to go down, actually? We can go down a Mizium Skin because my opponent doesn't seem to have anything that's going to pertain to targeted abilities. Well, actually, I guess Yeah, the enchantments do have to target, so let's keep that in, actually, now that I think about it. We could go down maybe an Expedite to go up in a null, and then go down maybe... Could even go down and Lookout. I think we could do that. I may be completely off on that, but we'll try it. We just have to keep our creatures on board. I think we can handle his creatures, but as far as our own, we need to make sure that those stay on board. It is pretty much the most vital part of this deck. His hand is a little bit wonky, but I think we can work with it. Not a Saprazan. I think that's how it's spelled. Is it? Saprazan. Sounds right to me. I am American, so however we say it's pronounced a... Oh, us Americans, we so silly. Go ahead and get Alchemist out because we can. Another thing that Americans like to say a lot. The reason why Thermo Alchemist is the weaker between it and Firebrand is simply because Thermo Alchemist is a tap. Well, more than that, but it is a tap where you're going to need to have haste on it to be able to really utilize it, whereas Firebrand Archer is ready to go as soon as you drop her onto the board. Another Guardian. This time I know it's monocolored and not multicolored. Which makes more sense considering the set it's from. And if we want to talk about decks that I was having trouble keeping the time limit on in the last video, this is a deck that I could easily run out of time with multiple times. Not saying that I haven't. Just in long, grindy matches, it can go into time. This is a deck that I could see being slightly annoying to play in person, although I really do want to build it. What's the follow-up play? Okay. Well, let's see what those other two cards are. And we'll pay life. We probably could just... Well, the problem is if I pay the life... I mean, if I don't, I pay with the island. And then let's say something comes up, then I have to use the Saprazans. And I might not necessarily want to do that. Our opponent's sitting on a Journey to Nowhere in an Oblivion Ring. So we want to see both of our annuls come up. And we want Moto to stop lagging. Well, in Evolving Wilds thins the deck out a little bit so that we maybe find the annuls faster. Considering how laggy it is, I'll probably just crack it immediately because this is pretty rough. Moto does that every now and again this time of night. I'm not sure why. I normally record record these on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and it is a Thursday night, so normally it's not exactly a bustling server. There we go. Got ourselves a mountain. I really do need to get some new islands, because they're really mismatching with these mountains. They don't look great. Ended up having to buy a bunch of mountains because of another deck that I don't know whether I'm ever going to play on the channel. It was an idea that I had that didn't turn out so great whenever I tried to make it into a video, but I needed a lot of mountains for it. You guys can theorize as to what you think that might be. We'll just pass. Eagle-eyed viewers that may watch me whenever I'm pulling up the decks in my collection viewer to show you guys may have noticed the title of a video that has not come out. May be able to put together why I needed that many, but we'll let you fun conspiracy theorists out there try to figure that one out. Alright, well, we are going to have to play the Manamorphose or die here. Just to try and draw a card. And we will just make a mountain. Well, I mean, not make a mountain. We'll make red and blue. Well, there is our annul, but unfortunately, we do not have a creature to put out onto the board with it. I'm just going to go ahead and flame jab. Just so we can say we didn't waste anything. You know, we did something. Wasn't a complete wasted effort. That is the thing with this type of combo deck. You are either absolutely blowing your opponent out of the water or you are doing nothing. And right now, we are doing nothing. If we could get a creature out, we actually have a sizable amount of mana and a lot of well, that's one less mana that we actually have. But if we can draw a creature, that is not a creature. Well, before we discard our entire hand, let's do this. Oh yeah, because that's non-mana abilities. I guess he just wanted to get it down. Let's just go ahead and play all of our Rites of Flames and our Seething Songs. And maybe, just maybe, get something good off of the Dangerous Wager. Our storm counter is going to be through the roof right now, though, so we should be fine there. We get a Faithless Looting. We'll discard you two. And use two of this. And discard an Expedite and a Swiftwater Cliffs, I guess, because we are going to be forced to just play this Thermo Alchemist. Not exactly the most exciting play we could have made. Yep, unfortunately that is it. But would have been a waste not to play them. So, and there of course is the Journey to Nowhere, and that of course will wrap that game up. And so we conceded just in time to die. So I don't think that our plan failed us as far as side decking goes. So I'm going to stand by it. let's go for this. I'm feeling good about this. I mean, our first game did not go bad, and this is actually a pretty good hand. I'm really liking the sandstone needle here. Because normally, here's what would happen. I would play this Swiftwater Cliffs. This, we would assume, would be a Swiftwater Cliffs as a tap land. And then so I would just get the Firebrand Archer out and probably have to wait another turn on the Ophidian Eye. Whereas now I can go ahead, get the Sandstone tapped, play it, and boom, we're on the board, and next turn we will be able to cast the Ophidian Eye, even though we're going to have to play that tap land. The problem comes in with the fact that then I get 2 uses out of this and it's done. So it obviously has its drawbacks, but in a deck where you're planning on just playing out your entire hand in one turn, it works out okay. And the Journey to Nowhere comes down because nothing that we do matters. Man, oh man. Well, let's play that tap land. And I think I'm going to pass, give it another turn and see how it goes before we start get taxing. I almost don't want to get taxing because part of me doesn't want to know just how many banished spells he has in hand. Let's just play the Saprozan. I'll give it another turn. Like I said, I really don't want to know how many Journey to Nowheres he has. I mean, I want to because, you know, if I'm playing smart, I want to know. But at the same time, spiritually, mentally, you know, I don't know whether I can handle seeing a huge number of them. Might be slightly demoralizing. Really don't know why Moto is so slow right now. Pretty sure it's not my connection. Everything looks fine on my end. Hopeful Eidolon. I really don't remember this card. I mean, it's a common from Theros block, so I don't think anybody remembers commons from Theros block, but I thought that I would. Ooh, a Rune of Protection, so not bad. We did get to our Null, which makes me kind of want to rush this and see if we can maybe dig out a creature. Armancer, Journey to Nowhere, Oblivion Ring, and Oppressive Rays. Oppressive Rays I'm not as worried about. Well, there is our Firebrand Archer. Come out to play at last. So we kind of have to go all out. Kind of going to throw it all out on the line. Ask, how bad do you want it? How bad do you need it? And we need it real bad. We need it bad. So we will have enough mana to hold up in a Null, which is going to be necessary. I guess the smart thing to do, I keep forgetting that Ophidian Eye has Flash, so I don't necessarily have to play it on my turn. But I think our opponent has a pretty good idea that if I'm playing the archer, then I have it. Now we do have the annul, and I don't know whether they're expecting that. They may be expecting a negate. Because honestly, I don't see that many people play annuls. Maybe the designer of this deck, way ahead of his time, goes ahead to protect himself from the firebrand, thus preventing us from getting a draw off of the firebrand archer. But what can you do? And I am going to let him deal damage to me, because I'm a big fan of having my creature right now. So let's go red for Rite of Flames. So we're going to go always yes, always yield, and get some mana. Take that mana, and we're going to make another 2 red. Sometimes I wonder what MTG's R&D was thinking with Manamorphose. You know, did they have delusions of grandeur that it was going to be this, you know, balanced card that would, you know, give people options to fix their mana? Or did they know? Did they know what people would do with this power? Seething Song. We want to go Ophidian Eye. And pay 2 of these. Another Firebrand Archer. Let's go cast Mizium Skin normally. And so we want to always yes. You have to set another one. You have to reset the yes and the yield after you play a second one. I think I want to play the island here and then Dangerous Wager. Oh no, I should have not done that. Should have done that differently. Could actually take advantage of the way that resolves. It's going to cause us to discard more potentially valuable cards, but it does save us from maybe screwing up our mana fixing. So let's give our creature hexproof again. Getting to a flame jab. Could actually just cast the one out of our discard better. Target and then discard this Evolving Wilds. And then we get to what would have been much more beneficial to us. Get in for 2, draw 2 more cards. We definitely put our opponent down quite a bit. If you remember, they were up by a good bit of life. So we did even the score there a little bit, and just like that, I mean, our hand has returned to being incredible. Of course, our creature and 2 Ophidian Eyes are gone now, including, did we discard 1? No, we did play all of those. So we still have 4 in deck. Well, I mean 2 in deck. I wish we had 4 in deck. Let's play a Faithless Looting. And we will discard a Flame Jab and a dangerous wager, I guess. I don't know, none of that seemed like a good option. Let's make Rite of Flames, getting 3 red mana. Play a Faithless Looting, discard you and you. Play Ponder. Desperate Ritual. We want to draw. Well, I mean shuffle. Shuffle before we draw. There's a Thermo Alchemist, which is our best option, unfortunately. And how much you want to bet that that gets eaten up by an enchantment this turn? I've got a pretty good bet on it. Oh, well, I mean, oh, but Oppressive Phrase does shut it down. It does not shut down a Firebrand Archer, but it does shut him down. Let's see, we have one. Oh yeah, I can't. I have to pay to block with it. Our opponent's going to slowly be gaining that life back that we worked so hard to get rid of. Quite rude of them, if you ask me. Yep, it'll untap. Unfortunately, we're not going to be tapping him. So we will discard. Nothing is a good option here. Hell, even discarding the Rite of Flames hurts. Oh, I can't. Oh, I have to pay 3 to do it, though. Okay. I was about to say, I really messed up. Oh, I should read cards. Our opponent has just got us figured out. Oh, there we go. Getting 4 life back. So now, even with paying the cost, we are not going to be able to pull that off. So let's expedite. We'll give him haste. And let's ponder. You're free to untap, dear Thermo Alchemist. And so we will put these on the bottom in any order. Well, shuffle them into any order. Get an annul. That could be good in the future, but right now it is doing zip 0 zilch for us. We have, well, we don't even have that option. I was about to say we could play Seething Song into Faithless Looting, but don't even have enough mana for that. And we are at 1 minute. I don't believe we're going to lose on account of the time, though. I think we're going to lose from lack of being able to do anything. Our opponent has been using their time quite efficiently, occasionally playing a enchantment and then swinging with a 1/1 and gaining a ton of life with it. I don't think a Hopeful Eidolon in its entire history has done as much work as this one has done today. I mean, I want to look back and see just how much life that thing has gained for him. Plays the Guardian of the Guild Pact. What do we got? I mean, we only have 13 cards left. Like, how much could it be? Will Faithless Looting. I mean, at this point, I think discarding the annul is even fine. Here's a Thermo Alchemist. So let's discard an Ophidian Eye and a... I can't really discard the Rite of Flames, because we'll discard a Manamorphose. And then red, Rite of Flames, Thermo Alchemist. Now our other Thermo Alchemist has to go through its pointless trigger. Yeah, Moto is skipping around on me right now. Just unfortunately, we did not end up with any white mana, well, I mean blue mana, so that we could protect our Alchemist with an Annul. Because I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that this thing gets swallowed up. And if it does, I'm going to have to say that that's game for us, even if, I mean, we don't have time to do anything, but I am going to have to say that that's it for us. Don't really know what Moto's doing right now. Yeah, I guess it timed out in the game, but didn't time out on my screen. Lots of things happened right there. I don't know, Windows tried to open up, all sorts of things. But that was hard fought. That was hard fought. I don't think we gave anything away to our opponent. Honestly, even if we got to one of our creatures there, we were at 12 cards in deck, I believe. And our opponent was at a high enough life total to where, had we gone through with it, we would have essentially had to play 12, 13, however much life they were at, would have had to play that many spells, and not all of the cards in our deck were spells. Some of them, like maybe 2 or 3 of them, were creatures. So not all of them would have actually ended in damage for us. So even if we could have casted them, and we couldn't even have equipped Ophidian Eyes to one of our creatures, because we would have ended up like decking out. So we feasibly, unless our opponent really messed up and we were able to just go for, I don't know, if we were just able to attack with Firebrand Archer over and over again, which I don't really foresee happening in that game. Especially once he had the Guardian of the Guild packed out. We couldn't have even flame jabbed that to death, and I don't think we could have flame jabbed our opponent to death, because I don't think we had, I mean, even if we would have needed at least 6 lands and a Firebrand Archer to be able to do it, and I don't think that we had 6 lands. I'm trying to think about our land totals, and I'm pretty sure we had gone through too many for that plan to work. So we would have, and I mean, that's really reaching whenever you consider how much spot removal our opponent had. But I don't know, like, this deck has its weaknesses. Obviously any combo deck will, but overall, like, once it gets going, and it's a lot of fun to play. I've been through several matches, and it's hard to find good games for combo decks, because it's normally really one-sided. Either you blow your opponent out or you get blown out. But I think I'm going to use the games that we just had, because I feel like there was some back and forth, and I don't know, I really like this deck. It's really, there's so many interactions going on, and it makes it really interesting to play. And just being able to go through your entire deck so quickly in a format like Pauper is really fun to do. If only Pauper had Lab Maniac. If it had Lab Maniac, this deck would be way too strong. We'd be able to go straight through our deck and get that Lab Maniac kill. That'd be really cool. But unfortunately, Wizards of the Coast did not treat us to a low rarity on our Laboratory Maniac. But needless to say, this deck is interesting. I hope that you guys enjoyed it because I really like playing it so far. Even in the other games that weren't as interesting, I think it's a lot of fun. So let me know what you think. Do you like the deck? Do you hate the deck? Do you want to build the deck? And if you do, let me know what you think of it, how it goes for you. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it. And without further ado, let's enter our shill mode. If you like the video, of course, you can always like the video. It's such a fun way to show your support for the channel. And you can also subscribe to the channel to see all of my videos, as well as all the videos from all of the wonderful content creators here at Magic Gathering Strat. You know we appreciate that. And, of course, the link to my YouTube page, as well as my Facebook page, will be in the description. You can go there and like my Facebook page so you'll see all the videos that I post here, as well as the videos that I post for my YouTube channel, all wrapped up into one place, as well as announcements for when I'm recording videos. If you want to join in on all the fun, should be a great time. If you like that video, well, if you like the type of content that I make, I should have a video going up on my main channel probably tonight, so you don't want to miss that. Should be going up around the same time as this one goes up. So lots of buttons to click and lots of fun to have, fun for all ages. So make sure you click all of those buttons, and of course let me know down in the comments below what you think and what you guys want to see next. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.